If your eyeballs fully popped out of your head, you
Why
would completely lose your vision.
Clearly!
So what would... He tried to light his shoe on fire mid-flight.
Why,
but the
though?
attendant smelled the burning matches and saw what he was doing.
Why are you doing
Passengers
that?
and crew wrestled him to the ground.
Yeah!
And eventually, he was
Yeah!
sedated.
Yeah!
And when he checked his shoes,
What was in
he
it?
discovered a fuse sticking out of
What?
each one. It turned out they were stuffed with enough explosives to bring down the entire plane.
Oh!
And that's why you have to take off your shoes at the airport.
Wow. Now it all finally makes sense why I have to go barefoot or with my socks out at the dirty airport. It's to save lives. Respect. I guess that gives like a literal meaning to I'm about to knock your socks off. That's not funny.
He dropped big rocks into an empty jar,
Why'd
which
he do that?
represented life's most important things.
Because he's so
family,
deep.
health, and
Okay.
dreams.
Respect,
Next,
respect.
he poured in a handful of pebbles. They slipped through the gaps, settling around the rocks.
What does that
There was
represent?
still room for them because the important things were already in place. These pebbles were the smaller but still important things, like your job and house. Then he took a scoop of sand and poured it in. The tiny
what does that
grains
represent?
filled every crack and crevice.
All the
sand
women
was
I
all the
smashed?
small things,
Hopefully
like
not.
hobbies, watching TV,
Nice,
and
nice.
vacation. Now, if the sand had gone in first, there would have been no room for the pebbles. And if the pebbles were first, the rocks wouldn't fit.
I like this
Meaning
analogy.
the most important things in your life, the rocks, have to go first. Finally, he poured in a cup of coffee.
Symbolism,
It seeped
symbolism.
through the sand
Nice.
into every last microscopic bit of space, completely filling the jar. Because even when life feels full, there's always room for a cup of coffee.
I like that Zack D films. That just made me feel a little warm inside, a little fuzzy inside. But nah, you spin facts, man. You always got to make sure you have the important things in life taken care of first, and that's health, family, and what was the third thing you said? Dreams? I guess so. I guess dreams can be a third thing, but for sure the first two, health and family, man. You gotta make sure you put those priority.
There is a secret about Skittles that
What
the company
secret?
doesn't want you to know about.
Those
You see,
liars!
They claim that the candy comes in 5 different flavors.
It's all the same
but
flavor,
the
right?
actual truth is that they all taste exactly
It's
the
just
same.
different
the
colors.
only difference is their color and scent. And according to neuropsychologists, that's enough to trick your brain
That is
into
true.
thinking they have different flavors.
Yep. I don't know if y'all know this, but if you're trying to swallow something nasty and you didn't want to taste it, you hold your breath. You hold your breath because that eliminates like a lot of your sense of taste. So it makes sense if you just change the odor of something, it will also change the taste as well, because if you remove the odor of something, i.e. closing your nose, holding it or whatnot, you don't taste it nearly as much.
The bullet was shot at the house and
snap.
ended up going straight through. Inside, a
there's someone
woman
in
and her
there.
fiance
No.
froze as the stray bullet
No.
headed straight for
Is it gonna
her.
hit the Stanley
but
Cup?
in between them, her trusty tumbler filled with ice water was sitting squarely on the table. And instead of hitting her, the
It hit the
bullet
Stanley
struck
Cup.
the cup. It
And it didn't go
sparked
through?
against the metal before tumbling harmlessly to the
Nice.
ground, saving her life.
Okay, I'm actually, well, I was going to say I'm surprised they didn't make an ad for this, but I don't think people want to think about being shot when they're trying to drink a cold sip of refreshing water. But that's dope AF. Now she's always going to bring that Stanley Cup everywhere because it literally saved her life. You're never going to get her to keep it at home. She's going to be like, well, honey, did your Stanley Cup save your life? No, that's why you leave it at home, and that's why we bring mine. That's literally what she's going to say.
When Pinocchio lies, his nose grows.
That's a big
so
ass
what
nose.
would happen if he said, "My nose is about to grow"?
I bet girls love that nose.
If it did not grow, then that would mean he was lying, which would cause his nose to grow.
This is a
but
paradox.
his nose growing would then indicate that he was not lying, which means his nose should have never grown. What do you think would happen?
I think as soon as he says the statement, the world just blows up. It's like dividing by zero or hitting an immovable object with unstoppable force. The world just blows up and cease to exist. So we just gotta hope and pray that Pinocchio doesn't suddenly want to end the universe by saying that statement.
The parasite enters through the gills and clamps onto the fish's tongue with sharp, strong claws.
It's a tongue,
it
my
then
bad.
severs the blood vessels in the tongue, stopping blood flow, which causes it to die and eventually fall off.
You big
Once
meanie.
the tongue is gone, the parasite
Replaces
attaches
itself
itself to
as
the
a tongue?
remaining stub,
Wow.
becoming the fish's new tongue.
Wow.
As the fish eats, the parasite gets a share of the food.
He said,
And
"We
this
gon' eat."
creepy thing stays there, living off the fish and acting as its tongue until the host dies.
Yo, that is so messed up. That parasite literally said, we're both gonna eat whether you like it or not. How you gonna eat without me eating? It's not possible. Like, damn, what if I liked my last tongue, bro? You could have just asked me for for some. Like, whenever you open a bag of chips in class and somebody asks you for some, you give them a piece, right? You give them a chip, right? I could have just gave you some food. You didn't have to rip my tongue off.
In 1970, a doctor removed the head of a monkey and transplanted it with another one, painstakingly connecting the tissues in the neck to the donor head. The monkey survived, regained consciousness, and was able to see and hear. But the spinal cord couldn't be connected, so the monkey was unable to move its body.
That's
and
scary.
While the procedure was technically successful, the monkey only lived for a few days.
I also want to know, like, what was the purpose of that? I'm sure there was some educational benefit to why you need to just swap monkey heads. Or maybe he was just bored AF. Maybe he was just playing like the early update or early release of Amateur Searching. Y'all remember that mobile game?
Most people think soda tabs have this hole so you can turn it around and stick a straw through it.
I actually didn't think that at all.
This prevents the straw from bobbing around, keeping it in place.
I didn't think at all,
while this is
actually.
a pretty handy trick, it isn't the actual reason for this hole.
So what's the reason?
The original soda tabs had a hole big enough to stick your finger through. And this was because in the original design, you literally had to peel and pull the can open.
That's a weird
when
opening.
Soda Company switched to this new design, they kept the hole as a relic from the older tabs, and also because it saves on aluminum.
Definitely the second option. They don't give a damn that it's an older relic or whatever. It's because it saves them money, which in turn maximizes their profits. But that's still kind of cool. Didn't know that was the reason why they had a hole on the soda tab. And now I do. Thank you, Zack D Films. Every single video that I watch from you, I get that much smarter.
If you find yourself in a room with walls closing in,
I hope I
people will
don't!
immediately begin to panic.
Everyone
This wastes
would!
time and energy. Instead,
I'm sorry.
look for any mechanism or
sorry.
button that might stop the walls.
I can't ruin
if you
my
can't
aura.
find one, use any available objects to wedge between where the walls are moving, providing more resistance to slow them down. If that fails, try climbing up and find a space above
At this point,
the
I'm
moving
praying.
walls.
Oh,
where you
wow.
can
Okay,
escape
maybe that
the
works.
crushing force.
Damn, bro, ever since that one movie, Escape Room, where they had the walls closing in, it has been a new fear of mine. I'm pretty sure they did it in the Saw franchise as well. But yo, oh my goodness, man, this is such a scary fear, bro. The walls closing in. Isn't that claustrophobia, bro? Like, you literally feel the walls closing in on you. Whew, I do not like that feeling at all.
When you shave a hair, you expect it to grow back
Look like
normally.
little doo-doos
but
on you.
occasionally, as the hair grows, it will actually curl back into the skin.
Hey, black
this
people
leads
hair.
to what's known as an ingrown hair. Now,
Ow.
most people think you're just supposed to pluck these out, but that
You're
will
not?
actually just irritate the area more. If possible, you should guide the tip of the hair in the right direction so it continues to grow correctly. They squeezed their shoulders into the flooded tunnel while holding their guns against their chest.
Way too tight!
Next, they used their feet to inch backward until their whole body was inside. Even though it's filled with water, there's just enough space to breathe.
Nah,
and once they're
man.
in, there's only one way out. They have to keep moving through the tiny space without drowning. Now, this 9-foot tunnel is part of the Commando's training, and a warning to recruits is written above. If you enter, you die.
I don't know who is trying to be a commando, but not me. I will gladly pass on whatever that job is. I was just talking about this, the claustrophobia, like the tightness, the closing in feeling, and you're adding water to the mix. So not only am I claustrophobic, I also have a chance of drowning. Yeah, GG's, not doing that.
If you lost your finger, most people assume you'd be fingerless the rest of your life. But if you manage to get to a hospital quick enough with your cleanly severed finger that isn't too damaged, a surgeon can meticulously connect the tiny blood vessels and the tiny nerves, which reestablishes blood flow and sensation. And if this is done with expert precision, your finger can be reattached, restoring its normal function.
Also, they can do that with your other appendage, your other limb that's down there, fellas. Yes, oh yes, they can indeed do it. So if you ever are dating somebody crazy and you just wake up one morning and they done chopped it off, make sure you go ahead and grab it, put it in ice, rush to the ER, and hopefully you made it in time.
When you pull the trigger of a gun, it releases a pin which strikes the primer at the base of the cartridge. Inside this cartridge is a chemically explosive substance known as smokeless powder. The impact from the firing pin ignites this powder inside the cartridge, creating a high-pressure gas that rapidly expands. This energy pushes forward and forces the bullet out of the cartridge, driving it down the barrel of the gun. If you poured a bunch of Earths inside the sun,
how many Earths can fit?
1.3 million.
What?
But this calculation is actually wrong. You see, this figure is just taking the volume of each Earth to fill the sun, almost like a liquid. But that doesn't take into account that the Earth is a sphere, and that there would be space between each one. Now, if you factor in this packing density, instead of 1.3 million,
2 million?
it would actually only take about 960,000.
Sorry, y'all, I went the wrong way. I promise y'all, I passed my math classes. I just didn't realize we were going the opposite way. My bad. But given how big space is in other planets and how many stars there are, bro, aliens exist. I know this short had nothing to do with aliens, but you just gotta realize space is just so large and in charge and massive and spacious. Bruh, aliens are out there.
She was reaching into a donation bin when someone pushed her from behind. The heavy door slammed shut as she fell inside. Now, these bins are built with one-way flaps that swing inward. Once you fall through,
you can't get out.
Locks behind you. There's no handle or latch, just smooth metal and steep walls too hard to climb. She screamed for help, but no one heard her. And for 3 days, she laid curled up on old clothes with no food or water. Finally, someone heard her cries, and firefighters cut her out. But this wasn't her first time. She'd already been rescued from a donation bin 2 times before.
Okay, I'm starting to think that nobody is pushing her in. Like, she's going in there on her own free will. What do you mean you've done this before, huh? This ain't your first rodeo? Firefighters already know you by first name basis at this point. Yeah, she's a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. There was nobody pushing her in. The person who pushed in is her imaginary friend.
He would bite down on a metal rod attached to his piano while he played. The vibrations from the piano traveled through the rod into his jawbone and reached his inner ear. This technique would send sound vibrations directly to the skull, completely skipping the eardrum, allowing him to hear. And by using this method, Beethoven was able to compose music, even when he was deaf.
Man, Beethoven, one of the goats. Low key, you know, like, he was kind of cool. Like, I kind of knew him back in the day. You know, we made music back in the studio. You know, he didn't release my music though, because we had like a little beef, a little falling out. So he didn't release it. He blew up, and now he left me in the dust. It's kind of fake, but you know, he kind of cool, I guess.
He stuck a Lego piece up his nose.
Why?
And it got stuck. So
Why
he shoved a different piece in the same nostril.
Are you
because
stupid?
They connected together, and he thought it was a smart way to remove it.
I don't know about that. It just goes further up.
Ended up getting stuck. His mother pulled out the bigger piece, unaware that the smaller one remained deeply lodged inside.
It's gonna be in there for a while.
26 years, he struggled with congestion,
26?
asthma, and sleep apnea without realizing why. Then, one day, while blowing his nose in the shower, the Lego piece suddenly popped out after 26 years.
Can you imagine the relief that he felt after that Lego came out 26 years later? Oh my gosh, he must have been able to like smell sounds. Yeah, I said that right. Smell sounds. That's how good his smelling was. Bruh, that's how good his breathing was. That man said, you know what? I'm finna enjoy the Demon Slayer corpse breathing technique. Head ass. All right.
When you slice a watermelon in half and in half again, then cut it into wedges, the sticky juices cover your face as you eat.
Well,
and since it doesn't fit your mouth, you actually lose some of the fruit. Instead, cut the watermelon in half on the short side and flip it over. Next, slice even strips in one direction,
watermelon
then
expert.
again in the other direction, making a grid. When you pull out a piece, most of them will be the perfect size to fit in your mouth.
Pause.
If your eyeballs fully popped out of your head, you would completely lose your vision.
Clearly!
So what would you actually see? Well, most people think that you would see darkness.
You'll see nothingness.
Like pitch black. But that's not actually true.
You'll just see nothing.
You wouldn't see darkness because you wouldn't see anything at all. It would be like trying to see out of your elbow. There's no visual input, which means you quite literally see nothing. Not darkness, not pitch black.
There's a difference.
Nothing.
Like, how do you even explain that? Like, because it is a difference. It's not like seeing black. You're not seeing darkness. You're seeing nothing. So it's not the same as pitch black. You're just not seeing anything. So there is technically a difference.
If you were swallowed by a sperm whale, you would be squeezed down its massive throat. You
This does not seem fun.
Down the esophagus and into a series of stomach chambers that are
His name must be Jonah.
Digestive acids.
Get it, Jonah in the whale?
These acids would immediately start breaking down your body. But even if you manage to avoid the acid, the lack of air inside the whale
that
would
must
quickly cause you to suffocate.
First, you would have to get swallowed by a sperm whale. And what are the odds that you get swallowed by a sperm whale? I mean, your own girlfriend doesn't even want to swallow you. Oh!
If your ear gets ripped off,
why are we doing
you
this?
can actually take some cartilage from your rib cage.
Okay,
Then a doctor will carve it into the shape of an ear and place it into a pocket of skin on your forearm.
That's freaky.
Inside your arm, it develops and forms new blood vessels and skin. Once it is fully developed, the new ear is removed from your arm. The new blood vessels are attached to your ear hole, and the skin is carefully stitched to your head, giving you a new ear.
Yo, science, doctors, medicine, that stuff is so cool because you're telling me we can grow a whole ear from our own body? Now that makes me feel so much better, bro. Now if I ever lose an ear, I know I'm not completely cooked. There's still hope for me. That is super cool, y'all.
If you feel a blockage in your ear, you
Earwax,
might have a huge
dirty
chunk
air.
of earwax stuck in the canal.
That's
this
nasty.
waxy substance is naturally produced by your body to
Thank you,
protect
body.
and lubricate your ears. But sometimes it can build up and harden, preventing you from hearing properly. And if you use a cotton swab to try to remove it, you'll probably end up pushing it further in. Instead, experts recommend using an over-the-counter drop that softens the wax,
I did hear that.
allowing it to exit the canal naturally.
Thank you, Zack D. Films, because before I was cleaning my ear via cotton swabs, and I didn't even really know that it was that bad for you. Now I'm gonna be using the right method.
If you smash a glass, turn off all the lights and lay a flashlight on the floor, the light will catch on the glass shards.
That's kind of cool.
And even the tiniest pieces will reflect the light back, making them sparkle. Then take half a raw potato and run it across the glass pieces.
Okay.
The sharp edges will stick into the flesh, and the potato will lift them off the floor.
It will
making
indeed.
sure it's safe to walk on.
I mean, I guess that is a life hack, or I guess, but I feel like I would just throw on some shoes and get a broom and sweep up the glass. Is that not the better method, the better way to go about picking up glass that shattered on the floor?
When an ant bites you, it grabs your skin with
Stupid
its
ants.
pinchers. But
Meanie.
it's not actually the pinchers that hurt you. You
What
see,
does
the
hurt?
ant uses them to hold on to your
So
skin.
it's the
but
venom,
then
right?
they bend their bodies upwards
Oh.
and stab you with their stinger.
You
because
meanie.
they're holding on to you with such a good grip, it allows the ant to
say,
sting you
"Ain't no running."
multiple times
Why
in
you
the
running?
same area. This injects you with their venom, which causes that sharp stinging pain.
Yeah. Stupid ants, bro. Like, y'all have so many things you could be doing other than biting us, bro. Like, seriously, I hate things that just randomly bite you. Like, as humans, are we just randomly going out and biting other things? I mean, some of y'all are. Some of y'all are definitely biting people. Some of y'all bite people and bit people as kids and are still biting people now, man. Like, bruh, I know some of y'all watching this video right now currently have somebody in your mouth and you're biting them. Stop it.
Did you know the tongue is actually not the strongest muscle in the body?
What is
the
it
human
then?
tongue is technically not even a muscle.
What is it?
It's a group of 8 muscles that control different functions. So what is the strongest muscle in the human body?
Cheeks,
well, the
my
muscle
cheeks.
that exerts the most force based on its weight is this muscle on your face
My
called
jaw?
the masseter. It's responsible for giving humans biting strength as great as 200 pounds. The cow knocked him into a pile of manure,
What'd you do
snapping
that
his
for?
hip.
Ow!
He couldn't move and had
And
no
you're
way
in-
to call for
you're in
help.
doo-doo
For
too.
5 days, he lay helpless in the dirt,
What?
baking in the sun and freezing at night. But he wasn't alone. His goat found him and stayed by his side.
Kept you
At
company?
night, she
Wow.
curled up beside him to
Wow.
keep him warm. Days passed, and without food and water,
What a
the
lit
man
goat.
grew weak. But the goat let him milk her
Wow.
into an old bottle, getting
Dub
just
goat.
enough to survive.
Dub goat.
Eventually, he was found and rushed to the hospital.
Wow, that
But
goat
he
is the
swears
goat.
He wouldn't have made it without her.
Yeah, that goat is definitely the goat. Shout out to that goat for being the goat. And that cow, screw that cow. Yo, a broken femur, I can only imagine how bad that hurt. The first thing that I'm doing is throwing a backyard barbecue. We're making steaks, burgers, everything, man. Oxtails, come on, we're eating this cow.
Have you ever wondered what's on the inside of a Kit Kat bar?
Can't say I
they
have.
claim it's just a crisp wafer.
So
and what
they claim.
actually used to make it might surprise you. You
What?
see,
What is
some
it?
Kit Kats
What?
get broken while they're being made, and
Uh-huh.
instead of throwing them out, the company crushes them up and adds sugar. And that's what's on
wow.
the inside of a Kit Kat bar. It's literally
Repurposed.
crushed up Kit Kats.
We have Kit Katception. Oh my God, repurposing. Wow. Okay, that's actually pretty creative. And like that is a way to like save a lot of money on your waste. You're literally turning your waste and putting it back into the product and selling that product. And if any more waste comes from said product, you can just repeat the process. Nah, that's pretty cold, guys. I'm not gonna lie to y'all.
If you step on a pressure release mine,
I hope that never
theoretically,
happens.
It would trigger a spring mechanism inside that pulls back
God.
a firing pin. Now, if you stay completely still and don't step off,
That girl is a real
supposedly,
crowd
the firing
pleaser.
pin won't move. But if you remove any
Yeah, the
weight,
mannequin
the
challenge.
firing pin hits a detonator, causing an explosion. Now, this
Yikes.
idea was popularized
The movie,
by
right?
wartime propaganda and movies at the time.
Yeah.
In reality, these mines don't actually operate like this. Most of them detonate as soon as any pressure is applied.
Yeah, I do remember a movie of a guy who got his foot on a mine and he had to stay there for like hours upon hours while they try to figure out where he is and try to get him out of it. Honestly, I kind of prefer the method or the way that it actually does work, you know. As soon as you step on it, you just blow up to smithereens. Because why would I want to play the mental games? Why would I want to be stuck with my foot on a mine, just wondering if I'm going to make it or not, wondering if the slightest move is just going to set it off and I'm cooked literally? Just blow me up.
He took the master key and pressed it into melted candle wax,
Oh.
making a perfect impression. The mold was smuggled out of the prison, and his allies used it to make a metal copy.
That's crazy.
They hid it inside a cake and sent it back to him. But when he tried the key, it
didn't work?
didn't fit.
Did
So
they
he
change the
sent
locks?
another wax impression and waited for the cake. And this time, the key worked.
Okay.
He passed through every locked gate, simply walking out of the
master
prison.
key,
And
that's
years
crazy.
later, he became president of Ireland.
Hold up! What? Became the president of Ireland? Hey, y'all, that's actually crazy, bro. I would flex with that story every single time if somebody ever asked me, so, tell me more about yourself. Well, I'm glad you asked. I just hit my funny bone, but I'm not laughing.
If you cut a pilonidal cyst,
why would you do that?
You'd probably find a clump of hair inside. Now, these hairs typically fall from your head and down the back of your
like little
shirt.
worms.
And as you ruffle around throughout the day, they move down to this area and eventually embed into your skin. Your body perceives them as a foreign object, and the area becomes inflamed. Now, this can eventually cause a cyst to form that entraps more and more hairs as they fall. If you never cut your fingernails, they'll get longer and longer until they finally start curling around on themselves as they continue to grow. And this is because fingernails actually never stop growing. The longest fingernails in the world currently belong to Diana Armstrong, whose nails are over 42 feet long.
How do you wipe your ass?
If you're like me, you probably find this kind of disgusting. And for good reason. Fingernails aren't meant to grow this long and can actually become a health hazard since they harbor bacteria.
So many questions. Why would you want them that long? How do you shake somebody's hand without them throwing up? And how do you wipe your cheeks? Because we all do it. If it eats, it poops. So how are you wiping them? Is it the new method of just letting it air dry and then just, I don't know, shaking the crust off? Or is it the old fashioned bidet, just splashing water on it? Either way, bruh, this is disgusting, bruh. Nasty.
Crack the cold eggs in a pan and add a chunk of butter. Stir them together over medium heat. This cooks them slowly while the butter oils the pan. As you mix, scrape the bottom to prevent it from burning.
Are you telling me how to make eggs?
Take them off the heat for 10 seconds while stirring. This cooks the eggs gradually and folds air into the mix, making them fluffy and soft.
So
After 3 minutes,
special
take them off and add cream to stop them from cooking. Then season with salt and pepper to finish off your perfect eggs.
So apparently those were the Gordon Ramsay perfect eggs. I'll let y'all know how y'all like yo eggs. Me personally, man, I was not a fan of sunny side up for a while, or over hard, over medium, it was scrambled or nothing. Now, over medium, give me the over medium. I need my yolk a little runny. So I feel like Gordon Ramsay's eggs will be bomb AF to me.
He was punched in the head so hard, he saw a flash of white.
Broly?
He realized his vision had changed. Curved objects started to look pixelated.
He punched you so hard, you're seeing Minecraft.
Flow in jagged lines. Everywhere he looked, he saw complex mathematical patterns, even though he hated math before. And without any training, he began drawing detailed geometric shapes.
No way.
The attack had turned him into a math genius, and he went on to teach all over the world.
How you gonna knock me outside my dome and all of a sudden I'm a genius? You done knocked like dummy IQ points into my brain. Like, is that really possible? Because if so, please tell me exactly where they hit you and with exactly how much force. That way we can do the same thing to everybody on this planet. So that way we can all be that much more smarter.
If you get a blister, most people assume you're supposed to pop them. But should you actually do this? Blisters usually form on a spot of your skin that has become damaged. And inside the bubble, there is a small pocket of clear fluid that builds up. This fluid actually protects and heals the skin underneath,
so don't
acting
pop
as a
it.
barrier to keep it clean.
Don't
but
pop
when
it.
you pop a blister, it exposes the skin prematurely
but it's so
before
fun.
It has time to properly heal, which is why you shouldn't pop them.
I know I shouldn't pop them. I also shouldn't pop pimples, but bruh, it's kind of fun, and I don't like a big bulbous thing just sticking out on my skin.
If you shoot at a bar of solid gold, most people think the bullet would immediately immediately be deflected.
I'm gonna first have to
gold
afford
is actually much softer
solid bar.
than many other metals.
I'm not
When
gonna
the
be able to
bullet
do this
hits,
experiment.
It would penetrate the surface, creating a small crater.
Got
the
it. No
bullet's
bulletproof
energy
gold.
would get absorbed and dispersed
Armor.
by the dense material.
No gold
and
in
instead
bulletproof
of
armor.
deflecting, the bullet might slow down
Worst
significantly
armor ever.
and even get lodged within the bar. When a gun shoots a bulletproof vest, the bullet will hit and possibly tear through the first layer.
Not even
These
possibly.
vests are made with
Definitely.
multiple layers of super tough fibers that catch and slow down the bullet. Upon impact, the vest's fibers disperse the bullet's force, lessening it. And while the impact can still cause broken ribs and
you're still getting
bruising,
hit with
the
that
vest
shock
keeps
force.
the bullet from entering your body.
So yeah, like you're not being penetrated anymore, like from the bullet. So that's good. You know, unwanted penetration is never a good thing. I'm not even joking about that. Okay. But like, seriously, you're still going to be hit with that shock force. It's going to knock all the air out of your body. You're going to crack ribs. It's going to hurt like AMF. But you will be alive and you will be grateful. So I'd rather take that than a bullet pierce me any day. Let's be honest.
When he saws through the assistant, you would expect blood and guts to spill onto the floor. But when the box is placed over her, the magician blocks her feet from the view of the audience.
So how do they do
and
this?
Within a few seconds, the assistant
Wow.
pulls her legs up and
You
squishes
cheater!
her whole body into the first half.
Okay, that's actually
At the
pretty
same time,
crazy.
Her
I know
feet
that.
are replaced with remote-controlled ones in the second half.
Cheater!
And when the saw blade comes down, it looks like she's being sliced in half. with the
Okay, but
legs
she's
wiggling.
really-
But the blade never actually touches her.
Wow, you really can't like look up videos on how magic tricks are done because it really does take away the magic from them. Because obviously magic doesn't exist. We all know it has to have like a practical reason or like, you know, sleight of hand or illusions or the angles, whatever. We all know that, but seeing it, like, it really does take the magic away.
If you fire a bullet that ricochets off of 3 platforms,
I would freak out.
some people think it could come back
Yay!
and kill the shooter. But is this actually possible? Well, first, the bullet would need to hit at just the right angle to be redirected back.
I'm sure
and
it's possible,
each of
right?
these hits would
It's
cause it to
momentum.
lose large amounts of energy and
Yeah.
speed. It could technically come back and hit you,
But it won't
would
pierce
no
you.
longer be at a lethal speed. He burned his initials
the-
onto the liver with a high-powered
What?
laser. Then he sewed up the patient.
That's
and
messed
acted
up.
like nothing had happened. But a week later, the new liver started to fail. The
I'm
patient
suing
went
you.
back in,
I'm
but this
suing
time
you.
she was treated by a different doctor. And he soon found the initials inside. The surgeon admitted it wasn't the first time he
Oh
branded
my
a patient,
gosh.
and he eventually lost his medical license.
Yeah, throw that license in the trash, rip it up, put it in ball it up into a ball, and Kobe green FN it into the trash can. Over here telling me you're branding my liver, bro. These surgeons be having God complexes. Not all of them, and we do have to be grateful for them because in order to do the job that they do, like it does require a lot of schooling, a lot of focus, a lot of attention. But branding my liver, my guy, really?
The stray bullet struck her right in the stomach.
She a thick
it
one.
pierced the skin, but started to slow down as
She
it
had a lot-
entered
she
her
had a lot of
body
fat on her.
Layer by layer, the fat absorbed more
Dang.
of the bullet's energy
Dang.
like a cushion. And by the time it hit deeper tissue,
had a lot of
the bullet
cushion.
had lost most of its force,
Nice.
coming to a stop before hitting any organs and
Nice.
saving her life.
Oh, wow. That is like one of the rare times where being a fat Big Mac saves your life. Go ahead and get that double cheeseburger with bacon today. You may just save your life.